Hey lads and ladies, today's video we're going to go over current price action of Bitcoin, what to expect, what will be the catalyst for the next dump or pump. Okay, these are very important for you to know, and we're going to go over the market top of Bitcoin. If we do pump, where can it get to? Today's journey, I am your crypto Buddha, okay? Why am I the crypto Buddha? Because we're going to look at the candles without bias, okay? Your path to enlightenment is these candles. They're going to tell us everything we need to know and what to expect. Accept them for who they are. Don't make them what you want them to be. The blueprint to success is right here on our screen, okay? Join our Discord group. Information in the link below. Guys, we have a lot of new people in the Discord, over 25 people in the last 2 weeks. If you haven't watched my market top video, give it a view. I go over the moving averages at 200 and 233 very explicitly. You will understand the market top. I'll go over it briefly here in the second half of this video. So as I said yesterday's video, the 1 hour time frame, this is what we're looking at here, very recently in the last week or so started conquering or started being rejected by the 200 and 233, okay? And we got above it yesterday. I told you we would make a shape and we would fall, right? The longest we could be above it is a couple days. Today's day 2. We made a double top. We had some selling. It wasn't enough selling to propel us down the break, okay? I delayed making this video because there's not a lot going on with the price action, as you can see. We're testing 32.5. We got a soft rejection here. And because we got a soft rejection, we're not actually dropping, right? So that's a problem as far as action is concerned. You can see in the guppy, we do have buying. That's the green. It's not a lot of buying, which is why the price isn't rising that much. I was after a wave of selling and a whale pump to get us here, okay? Let's look at the 4 hour time frame. This is more important for perspective, okay? Because this has been the king, the reigning king of the 200 and 233. We have been rejected by this multiple times. Now, one thing I want to show you, let's throw on a guppy real quick. I showed you guys this yesterday, right? One thing I wanted to point out that I didn't point out in yesterday's video, look at the waves, right? So this is the bear cycle that we're currently in. This is 35% or 55% price declination of Bitcoin, between 50% and 85% price declination of the alts, right? So that's the bear cycle. Over here in the bull cycle, though, something worth pointing out, trading views lagging. Look at the size of the waves going up. Look at the size of the impulse waves going up. And then look how it peters out. See how it gets smaller and smaller as you get closer to the top? I wanted to point it out to you, and I know a lot of you guys are in different countries, but in my country specifically, we had so much money being poured into various financial markets because the individuals, the citizens of my country, received a lot of money from the government. The government printed over $1 trillion. The government gave people for business law, gave money to people that own businesses for business loss. We gave money directly to individuals. We deferred people's mortgage payments on their houses, meaning that if you owned a house and couldn't afford to pay for it, you didn't have to and you didn't lose the house. All that happened here, okay? Not saying all that money poured into crypto, but it's part of it. It's also part of the reason our stock market's inflated. And if you follow economists like I do, guys like Peter Schiff, who's no fan of crypto, but he's a brilliant economist when it comes to the stock market, guys like Robert Kiyosaki, who is a fan of crypto, but has also been dead right on market crashes in recent history for our stock market, they all believe that we're heading towards another crash, okay? This is going to impact crypto, okay? Whether you have the inverse relationship to the DXY or not, which is the dollar, there's a couple different ways you can look at that. When we have crashes, other parts of the world have crashes, the dollar is oftentimes a safe haven, which pumps up the dollar's value, okay? It makes it, because the US dollar may be garbage, because it is. It's fiat money. It's not backed by anything, but it's better than other countries' garbage, at least in this current state, right? This is a very broad statement, but you guys understand what I'm saying. So my point being, I said this yesterday in the video, the 65K number, our next bull cycle, I don't think we're going to get to that 65K number. I think that was the market top, right? I think you're going to have something like this. You're going to have your top, and then this next bull cycle will be something like this down here. We made, like I said, the number I gave you was 45, 55K Bitcoin. That's not a bad number, guys. You know, we've been trading in chop down here for 3 months. I mean, this could easily take you well into next year, the first half of next year, climbing back up from 20, 25K Bitcoin to 55K. That's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of trades. There's a lot of coins you can buy. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I say that because, again, the waves, you can see the top forming. And you got to understand the basics of a market is buying and selling, right? God, TradingView is lagging so bad. It's buying and selling. This red is selling, okay? This red isn't just like a random, computer exploding or something and Bitcoin's price dumped, okay? The smart money, the institutions, the whales saw the peak here, saw this, and they dumped, okay? They saw it getting weaker. They thought this was the peak, and they dumped. This is the smart money, okay? And probably some smart retail too. We had a death cross happen, which I don't have on this screen, but somewhere in over here, which is the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average crossing, right? Again, a precursor to the most severe bear markets and the stock market crashes that we've had in my country over the last 100 years, okay? So the second wave of smart money saw the death cross and dumped. So all the big YouTubers were saying, lagging indicator, no big deal. No, it's a huge alarm bell for what kind of market structure you're looking at. You got to understand the market structure you're trading in to be profitable, okay? So if you were holding here, again, we went over this, but if you were holding here hoping for 200K Bitcoin, you got wrecked. You got wrecked because you lost value big time. You lost opportunity cost, you lost value, okay? So you got wrecked. The shorters made out big. The shorters have been making out big since April 7th, or since May 12th. It's all been short time. That's been the best time to be a shorter. But let's go over the market top. So the 200 and 233, what's my color coding here? 233 is purple. Okay, so the 200 is a simple moving average. It's 6.5 months of trading. The 233 is like a sister moving average. That's the Fibonacci number, okay? They're different. Fibonacci numbers in the EMA family. The SMA family is a simple moving average, okay? But they're both relative to what I want to show you right here. And again, watch the market top video. I go over this in depth because it's relative to where the price is now. So we lost the 200. I'm just going to refer to the 200 normally until we get to one section. We lost the 200 April 17th. We dumped from 65K at the high. That's not the close. That was the high. We dumped from 65K down to 47K. We climb back up. We start losing these battles, getting back above the 200, back below, back above. You can count all these battles. It's somewhere 10 and 12 battles between current price history and the 4-hour time frame and back to April 17th. Okay, we're like 0 and 12, just to throw that out there. May 12th, we dump. And again, supply and demand. What is the market? The market is supply and demand. This is selling, guys. This is selling, okay? This isn't, like I said, this isn't like Bitcoin crashing in the sense of just random event. This is selling. This is smart money selling Bitcoin. That brings you down to the chop. When you zoom in, right, and you go look at people's videos from June 13th to June 16th. This one chart is my only chart that ever lags. I don't know why. And it's every time I want to show it to you guys. This is that 41K when we were battling the 200, right? We're battling the 200. Go watch the top 5 YouTubers, right? What were they saying right here? We're going to launch from 41. We're going straight to 50. Not a lot of resistance. From 50, it's going to be a battle, but we're going to get back to 60. We're going back to 200K. We're going back to million Bitcoin, okay? I bring that up because it's relative to where we are. You have to understand when you're watching people, look at their predictions, look at the things they say, and how often are they right, how often are they wrong. This is important information. So I said we weren't going to be successful here and we're going to roll. From 41, so we got above the 200. This is what you need to understand. You can get, when I say you lose, you can get above the 200. You can't hold it because it's an average. We wick the 233. We wick right through the 233 and get rejected by it, right? Rejected so hard, we fall 11,500 points. And you can measure that. You can measure it from where the trend begins. You can measure it from the peak. From the peak, it's 12,500 points, okay? So from here to here, it's 12,500 points. From the first pink candle in the downtrend, it's like 11,500 points to the bottom, okay? So we have that loss. This is a swing pattern failure. That refers to the Bart Simpson haircut. If there's no lag, I could draw this a little bit better. The Bart Simpson haircut, totally out of pattern, right? You see it's outside the pennant, so it's a pattern failure. And people draw like the eyes, which you're not going to see that well. The guppy right here, and you draw the nose, and you can draw a mouth, right? So it's a Bart Simpson pattern. It looks really bad, really bad. The lag doesn't help. We fall back down. We go to retest it again. Every time we get above the 200, this is 233 up here because it's 33 days behind us, right? We get above it. We test it again. We make a head and shoulders. We dump. Not even that big of a dump that time. Bitcoin has a lot of buying going on, right? It's selling here, but the gray is market indecision, but just the velocity, right? So we get up and test it again. Again, this is a 4-hour time frame, right? Just made a smiley face. You dump again. You don't get up to test it again. Let's move up to current time frame. You start losing it in the 1 hour, but now with that whale pump, the only way, by the way, when you look at the history of testing the 200, you get up there the same way every time. Whale pump. Whale pump. This isn't organic retail buying, okay? Look at this, especially this one. Whale pump. These are whale needles. What is a whale needle? Because this is misconstrued all the time on YouTube. It is a low volume, high price move, okay? Because you can see it in your volume, right? And I want to show you something. Let's get rid of the guppy. I want to show you what's going to happen for this weekend. The catalyst for the next dump, right? I'm going to throw on the volume volatility channel. You can watch these failures in real time. Look, remember, this acts like a Bollinger Band, but it's by volume and volatility, right? Red is selling, green's buying. The color fades as you get higher up because it's less volume. Look where the spike was, right outside the volume, like no volume support at all. That's why you make shapes, because you start rolling, right? Because there's no volume. So you roll down, you're back in the red, you fall so hard, you do 11,500 point descent. Again, look where the peak is, in that top channel above it, and then you roll down. There's no volume here, guys. There's no volume for these spikes. The spikes are right out of the channel, but it's a single candle. Normal buying and selling is multiple candles like this, right? That's normal buying and selling. It's not one giant candle. Right? Those are whale needles, what I frequently refer to as whale needles. Bitcoin likes to recover in ascending wedges, right, from dips. Like you see this, you dip and you get an ascending wedge, right? So you have volume going up, and then you consolidate and you have volume. When you have massive volume, or when you have massive candle spikes, that's when you know that it's whales manipulation and / institutions, right? So watching this volume channel. Again, this is relative to where price is now. So you saw in the 1 hour, quick throwback, look at the 1 hour. We're at the top of the guppy. It doesn't seem like we have any velocity, right? Why don't we have any velocity? Take off the guppy, throw your volume volatility on there. You're starting to get in that faded channel up here. Now your volume on your 1 hour, because it's a smaller time frame, is arching up, right? But when you look at the 4 hour, it's still flat, and it's coming off of a descending curve, right? Your 200 and 233 are up here. What they want to do, I can tell you right now, what the whales want to do, Trev told me, he made some calls. What the whales want to do is they want to do this. They're going to have to whale pump it. If you see contact with the 200 and 233, I promise you it will be off a big candle. It will be off a single big candle that gets you up there. Why do I say that? There's no volume. You're literally outside the volume zone. There's no buying there at all, okay? That's why you're held in check. You're held in check by the volume. The whole market is volume. If you don't have volume, you have no buying, okay? That's what you need is volume. So if you get a whale spike, a whale needle up here, you're going to meet the 200 and 233. Since April 17th, that's your market top. You have not defeated it. So what does that mean for the weekend? Well, it's quite simple. What that means is if we get a whale candle here, a whale needle, and we get up here, you're either going to get above it, consolidate, make some type of shape like a double top, right? Which just means you have your spike, and then you have your sell-off because there's no volume, and then you get another spike again, and then you get your sell-off. That's what a double top is. And then you crack your neckline and you drop, okay? So that's one possibility. The other possibility is we don't get up there and we just keep consolidating. These are descending, right? So they're descending. So eventually we're just going to contact them and be forced to battle them. Either way, the result will be this. And again, I say that with confidence because of the history from April 17th. We have not defeated them. Your market reversal, by the way, on the bullish side, if you want to know what the bullish side is, you hear people throwing out numbers like, oh, we got to beat that swing pattern failure of 41K and then we're back in a bull market. It's actually much simpler than that. You don't have to beat that, guys. You just got to beat these. If you can get price above here, use it as support and actually leg up organically, not make a shape and fall back down over a period of days, that's your market reversal, and that happened in the 30s. Okay, so we will be one of the first channels calling the market reversal when it does happen because, again, the market top is the 200, right? If you get above it on the 4-hour, you're making severe bullish progress to get the 200 back on the daily, eventually back on the weekly, all the other upper echelons you need to be on to be back in a bull market, okay? But that's not where we're at realistically in current price history, okay? Where we're at is we're probably going to dump. Not probably, very highly likely going to dump. If you wanted to make a bet, I would make a bet we're dumping. We're out of the volume channel. We have these resistances that we've lost against since April 17th. And again, guys, everybody's pulling out really fancy indicators. They're showing you, monthly structure, weekly structure, different indicators, explaining things about where we're going to go to. It's Occam's razor principle, okay? The simplest explanation is if you just throw on the 200 and 233, show me where I'm wrong. That's my challenge to the rest of YouTube. Show me where I'm wrong, because every single time we've met these two moving averages. Even when we got above them, we fell back below them. That is the market top. That is the market top in a bear cycle that we're in right now. We're going to transition to a bull cycle, but that is the bear cycle. And our catalyst for our dip will be when we contact these two moving averages, maybe just the one. We might not even get to 233, and then we're going to dip. Okay? I hope it's our big dip, and I hope it's this weekend, because that'll bring us to the 25K Bitcoin or 20K Bitcoin, somewhere in here. If we fall 11,500 points like we did last time, we met these moving averages and that big uptrend, that would bring us literally to 21K Bitcoin. You know, if we just fall one of these other times here, these are, I think, 2,000, 3,000 point dissensions, that's going to bring us to the high 20s. Okay, and then we'll be back in this range, maybe back down here at the bottom here. So we'll be back here slightly below. But that's where we're going to be, and then we'll just continue our descent down till we find our bottom. You know, that's the path I see for Bitcoin. Again, it's not bearish news, it's not bullish news, it's just the data, guys, and we're going to profit off the data. We'll be talking about it in our Discord. Next video coming soon. And guys, if you haven't been in our Discord yet, we're growing like crazy. Check out the description. There's a link for it. We have weekly options, monthly options. I think you'll love it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Our YouTube subs are growing too. Thank you for all of you guys watching on YouTube. Really appreciate it. And we will all talk soon.